pulling out a close game like this, and what it means for this team?
Well, we've had a couple now, the last couple that we've been able to make some plays down the stretch. Karan was made big plays, made a big tip in, as far as staying aggressive. As far as on the ball when he missed a shot and got a tip in, it was huge. Made a big shot when they switched out as far as on Aldridge. And what we've done here recently, we've been our offense, even though the elimination of Gill, we're shooting the ball over 50%. We're actually shooting the ball pretty well, and we've done some pretty good things at times defensively. I thought that, let things get away in the third quarter. I was almost going to kick myself. I really wanted to play JaVale, early, didn't get to it, and I thought it would be unfortunate to put him in late, similar to what I did with Nick, and it just put them in a bad situation, But, Mike Miller was good off the bench. He was still rusty. He had some unforced turnovers that normally you don't like to see, but I thought Deshaun was defensively was good early as far as on Miller. Miller and Aldridge carried them for most of the game.
It seems like defensively you guys are closing out
We've been better defensively. I think we've been better. I think we're playing a lot more zone, and I think our zone has been able to keep the other team less aggressive, keep them a little bit off balance. Plus, when you play a lot of zone, you learn more zone principles, which is more help and recover. And so I think we're in more of a help type situation, and I think that's helped. So our playing more zone has actually helped at times our man-to-man defense. And we've been, we're playing a little bit more spirit at the end of games, but we're playing more to win than not to lose. Yes, before you got here, Mike, that's what I said. I said he was huge down the stretch. He had missed a layup, kept on it, 2 or 3 tips, finally tipped it in. Then we ran a play where they were switching a lot, and we got him isolated as far as on Aldridge, and he was able to go at Aldridge and make that big jumper, which was a similar type shot that Antoine made in the last game that almost put us over the hump to put a lot of pressure on them, as far as making sure that they had a score out and pretty much stop out. I think we're coming a little bit. I think we're playing. We haven't even when Portland made a run, it wasn't because we weren't playing hard. I think that over these last 7 games, we've had pretty good efforts through everything. We had some bad turnovers when they made their run at the end of the third quarter, and the thing that still drives me crazy, and with our guys, we have too many guys that we penetrate and we jump up in the air, and then we look to pass to somebody. If you're going to jump up in the air, shoot it, because we're getting caught up in the air, and it's putting some of our offensive guys in a bad situation too. But I think we've got some guys. Like I said, we still even though Mike comes back, it changes your whole rotation. Now all of a sudden Nick, where do you find minutes as far as minutes for him and for Dom and that? And I would have liked to play those guys to more than anything to reward them for how they played the last game. The way things went, we had some other guys that came in and played pretty well though.
Why do you think you talking about? I think you guys are finding your identity just now. Why do you think these last 7 games only put together at this point of the season?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I think number one is that when sometimes what happens when you lose somebody, whether through injury or whatever, the players they actually become more coachable. And what I mean by that is that if some people think they're down a little, down from a either a talent level or whatever, you lose a big player, they'll say, "Okay, coach, what do you want me to do?" So then if they lose, it's the coach's fault, because we're doing whatever you tell you to do. So I think what happens is sometimes, I think the one thing is whether it's why it's taken so long, I don't know, but we've been more coachable from a standpoint of not turning the ball over. We've held them accountable. We've been on guy. I've probably screamed at more guys on the floor than in the past, but I think that we need that for accountability, and guys need to know when they're making mistakes to learn to know what the mistake they made and try to correct it. And it's the team's been in flux a lot from injuries and everything else, so it's been ever changing. So I think that's I think we've had a little bit more. We've started to get a little bit more continuity.
Does your roster also fall together better than some teams do when they lose a star? It looks like your top 8 or 9 guys actually fit in positions and minutes.
Yeah, I don't know about the. I think anytime sometimes when you don't have as many guys and guys know they're playing, they have a tendency to play at a better level because they know if they make a mistake, they might not be taken out because of that. But I don't think that's the case with us anymore. I just think it's, I think that, as I stressed to the guys when all this went down, through every crisis is an opportunity. And I think that as a team and as individual players, you've got a choice to either embrace the opportunity or you've got a choice to let your knuckles drag on the ground. And I think that our guys have shown some more character by embracing it. We've won 2 in a row, but it's not even the 2 in a row. It's how we've played, in Chicago, how we played, and just in the games, even New Orleans, how we played, and then how we played against Orlando. So we're putting ourselves in position, and I think our guys are also getting a little bit more confidence in their ability to play. And if we fall behind, we haven't been in a panic type situation. And I think what we've done is that, we've stayed more with our system. At times when we would fall behind in a pass in the fourth quarter, one guy, no matter who it was, thought they had to do it by themselves. Where we've run plays to get our guy the ball we wanted in spots, but we've done it off emotion, so there hasn't been as much help. And it's not like one guy's having to play against 3 guys.
Flipping the beginning of the season, you had to define what their roles are. Obviously, the way you've played the last couple of games, have you noticed these guys getting back to those roles that were defined?
Well, the one role is always playing hard, so that's a role that I think they are, and I think that I think we're starting. I think that we're still evolving. I think Randy's going through the process of learning that position. And at times I want to strangle him, and other times I want to hug him. And but that's part of the process. I think that's anytime you have an offense that is dominated by point guards. Coaches get like that. Larry Brown's always been like that. I've always been like that, been hard on those guys, but I think what happens eventually it'll kick in, and hopefully it'll make some better players. So I think they're starting to understand, what their, as far as what their roles are and trying to play that way. Excuse me.
How much, they went through this, a lot of the same guys on the team went through this a couple years ago when Gilbert was injured. I know you were on the outside, but how much do you think that knowing that you've done this before kind of helps, when Gil's not around?
I don't know. It's this is a different team than the players are different. They're older. There's in their games have changed a little bit through injuries and everything else. So I don't think I don't want guys to look as far as in the past, because they can say that, but they also played without Gilbert last year, and they won 19 games. So which one you want to take, So I don't want them to look in the past. I want them to look, and I want them to understand how they're playing now. If you play hard and you play the right way, you've got a chance to win games. And I think that's all you ask them, any team, no matter if you have a player you're missing a key player or you have all your group as far as together. And I think right now what they're doing, our guys are more committed to how they want to play. I think I've always said this, and at times people say why. I said, when your offense is better, your defense is better. Our offense has gotten better and our defense is better because now we're shooting the ball, but they got to take the ball out of the net. We can set up. You've probably seen us over these last 6 games press more and play more zone than we have these maybe the previous 30 games combined, because we've been shooting the ball better. We've been able to set up our defense and do those things.
You were
Yep.
telling within a couple of days of maybe getting a new owner for the team or pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts since you've been here on what new ownership can mean?
No, I haven't even thought anything about that. We've had a lot of other things to think about.